Hey guys, I hope you are well. Welcome to another video. I'm Nikki E and I'm bringing you the video today of the Gemini full moon, which is happening on the 7th or 8th of December, wherever you are. In London, it's happening on the 8th. And this Gemini full moon has a big conversation with Mars in Gemini. So a big one, not like a bad or a crazy one. It's just like a big one, I would say. A lot of other themes that are with this Gemini full moon is to do with when it comes to a lot of the energy is to do with like finances, self-worth, and yes, a lot of finances and self-worth, guys, and money coming in, money coming out. And it's no surprise because, you know, we are in a, let's just say we're very much in a tight spot. So yes, this is going to be definitely highlighting it, and this is going to be a major theme that's going to be coming up during this Gemini full moon. And even though it has a big conversation with Mars in Gemini, Mars is retrograde here. And this also can see a lot of us bringing up themes which is concerned with the Gemini themes of, you know, how we communicate through social media, media in general, our siblings, our immediate environment as well. There can be, with this Gemini full moon, some big niggles for a lot of us because this is in 16 degrees, I forgot to say. Sorry, not 16 degrees. This is at, yes, it's 16 degrees. What am I talking about? It's actually 16 degrees. So all the mutable signs who are, I'll say, the middle of the mutable. So it's mid Pisces, mid Gemini, of course, mid Sagittarius, and mid Virgo. You're going to feel this. You guys are going to be feeling this across the board. It can benefit some people and it can niggle some people, and it might be so with other people as well. So yes, so when I talk about that, again, finance is going to be a major theme coming up here. Whether it's hidden finances or whether it's how we're spending our money, what we're eating, what we're saving, or even trying to save. You guys know what I mean. So a lot of that is going to be full at play. But when it comes to it, when it also comes to it, the Mars conjunction, this will see us, because, you know, we're going to be releasing here. And it might be very easy for a lot of us to release, but it might not be easy for not a lot of us to release, because Gemini is ruled by the mind, and a lot of us can feel that these things are definitely played on the mind here. So yes, with this Mars retrograde happening with this is, it can be very much a fiery time. A lot of things definitely can be bubbling under the surface that may or may not be brought out. It really does depend on what type of person you are. But I do feel is one reason why I feel it's definitely much a powerful time is because Mars retrograde, Mars in Gemini, even though it's retrograde, it does bring things to the surface, which does feel quite, what's the word, uncomfortable. But it's actually things that actually need to be said. And you know, Mars is an energy planet. It's a sexual energy planet. It's how we are when it comes to action. So a lot of us may need to rethink things when we're doing our releasing rituals. A lot of us may need to, there may be a lot of backtracking, but it also may be a lot of, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to say, this is how I need to move. So yes, and even though when I talked about it, it's a lot of like finances are going to be playing a major theme in it, it is really what it is. There can be some, again, like I said, there can be some niggles that happen. But there can be some confusion that comes during this time. There can be, you know, things are not really clear. Things are not really out in the open. things may not come to the surface at the right time, or things will, but eventually, you know, things will definitely become clear. I also see with this is that, you know, anything that we're going to be releasing now, or working on releasing, or even wanting to say, it will tend to stick. So if there's something that you want to get rid of, you'll more or less get rid of it. If there's something that, you know, you need to say, you're going to be saying it. Even it may not be on the day, but it, you know, things will be done. So yes, a lot of like the air signs will definitely benefit from it, like Libra and Aquarius. And, you know, yes, you guys are going to be having it very easy. And also the fire signs like Aries and well, not Sagittarius really, but Aries and Leo, you guys will definitely benefit from this. So yes, so, you know, things, you know, we live in a world, we live in a new world now. And, you know, some of you may feel that with this Gemini full moon, like some of the themes are from like when the North Node and the eclipses were in Gemini. You may feel like a lot of it is actually being played out now, but it also may feel a bit like a deja vu. But I feel that if anything does come up with this full moon, is that things just need to be brought out into the open. And, you know, with Mars being in the sign of Gemini, it's not easy for everyone. Some people find it, you know, a blast, but some of us won't. Some of us may feel that, you know, we've been holding stuff in and now it's time to come out, and it comes out at the wrong time, or even like the wrong way. But I feel regardless of how it is, it just needs to be said. It just needs to be done. And I feel even if you're having like an easy Mars in Gemini transit, especially with this full moon, is that, you know, there's going to be a time where a lot of us are going to be saying things that or doing things that people may not agree with. But it's just sometimes just things have to be done, and things really just have to be said, you know. So yeah, so I say this is a big one. I won't say it's a difficult, or I won't say this is great. I just say this is very much a big one. You know, feel free to let me know how it's going for you. And yeah, I feel that when it comes to like full moons and new moons, a lot of money, things to do with like money, is going to be of the main theme. We can really and truly not escape it. Okay. The card that we actually have for this is the Strength card, because it's the 8, number 8, and also the 16 because it's the 16th. So the 16 is obviously to do with Mars, but also the day is the 16th, so it's 16 degree. So again, the 16 in the tarot is the Tower card. And, you know, whenever we see this card, it can feel very much like a shock. But I feel that things are just going to be coming out to the open, coming out of the scenes. Things that were hidden will be coming out. Things that need to be said, again, will be coming out. Things that need to crash and burn will burn. And things that need to be started afresh, it will happen too. Yes, things can be shocking. This card is saying, of course, things can be shocking. Things can also be sudden. Things can also be very much like, you know, we didn't see this coming during this full moon. But, you know, once the things start to die down, it's like things will definitely make sense. And the Tower card is a card of disruption. So there can be some disruption that comes across. And sometimes disruption is good, guys. Sometimes disruption is not so good. So I think regardless of how it goes, sort of like you can sort of like revel in the shock, or you can just like, some of you may be sort of expecting this, but some of you may not. But some of you may just be thinking afterwards, like, okay, it actually all makes sense now. And then we go from the Tower to the Strength card. So this card is showing, regardless of what happens, you know, you're still standing, you're still here. You're still so even with full moons, they're about losses as well. So there are things that a lot of us can lose, But I feel that also, regardless and whatever happens, it's like, you know, you've done it, you've made it, and you're still standing, and you're also going to be pushing forward. Because sometimes with full moon, especially with this Gemini full moon, we may not know we're coming or going because we're in mutable time. And, you know, our minds can be very, like, spinning a lot. And we may not know, again, where we're, like, what the hell is going on. Because things are going to be moving too fast for some of us. But the Strength card is like, you know, regardless of what happens, like, stand your ground. But also know that in a way that you're very protected. And that you've, you know, because the Strength card is about the strength of the character as well. You know, not being afraid of anything, is moving forward with dignity. It's a Leo card, because these two both are fire card. This is an Aries card, but this is also a Leo card. So some of you can act very lioness, like, you know, here I am, this is what I'm about. And even if things are like really bad behind the scenes, I am still here. I'm still going to move forward, because there are things, themes, dreams, possibilities that I am about, and nothing's really going to stand in my way, not even this full moon. So yeah, it's a lovely, you know, the message of the Strength card is, you know, things in the end, of course, will definitely, well, not definitely, will tend to go your way, especially if you come out of the Tower moment. Okay, so when it comes to the wellness of the, I'll say like the wellness, like some of the essential oils that you could use during this full moon, because it's such a Mercury full moon, the Mercury full moon. I love grounding oils. You know, you can use oils like cedarwood, you can use oils like lavender. It's really great to try to do some breath work because of the Mars that's activated here. Using oils like frankincense, which is really helpful to ground. And yeah, those are the two oils that I can actually think of now, because I'll definitely be using them. I use them more or less every day anyway. But yes, lavender, you can use bergamot, you can also use cedarwood, and yeah, and I think, especially I think for Cancer, you know, whenever the moon is anywhere, because you're ruled by it, you know, your energies might not be there. So if any of you find that your energy is quite depleted, this full moon, oils like citrus oils like lemon, lime, and mandarin are really good just to help boost your energy, because they're never easy. They're really never easy for a lot of us. Okay. So yeah, that's my 2 cents worth on the full moon in Gemini. And now let's get to the tarot for all the signs. So Aries, this full moon in Gemini is in your 3rd house. Now Aries, I feel some of these themes that's coming up with this full moon for you is, again, communication. A lot of communication. But there's going to be, this is about releasing. So there might be something you're going to be bringing out, something to, either on social media. If you're working in the media, you might be bringing some like news out to do with anything that needs to be brought out, basically. A lot of you can feel quite mouthy as well. There may be mindful, because there may be some backtracking going on. Like you may have brought something out and you may have not checked your facts, and you have to go back and redo something. But I feel that a lot of this, there can be some making up that's going on here, Aries. Could be making up with a friend, making up with some of your siblings, or you can make up with your neighbors, because especially with Mars, you're ruled by Mars, you know, your 1st house is Mars. There may have been some drama and arguments that happen, especially whether it's went direct or it's gone retrograde. And this full moon will help you, a lot of you, make amends. A lot of this, some of you may feel that it's to do with like an ego thing, like I'm not going to say anything because it's not my fault or it's their fault. But this full moon might make you see, basically, I feel it may make you see sense or make you see another side. And there may be a lot of, it could be like apologies, or You know, you sort of like slowing down a bit in what you're saying or what you want to say, what you want to put out there. And there could be a lot of, this could be very much a forgiving full moon, like forgiving on both sides, regardless of who you're definitely communicating with. And yeah, but it's also going to be a very busy full moon for you. So I feel anything you're going to be releasing to the world, like if you're doing any blogging or writing, this is a really great time to be doing it, as long as you're, you know, you're fact checking everything. Your mind could definitely be on a roll, so things like breath work can really help you, because you can be mentally busy. You may find that, you know, you're not, there could be you like up in the bed and just constantly thinking, because you could have a lot of ideas, or there may be things that you haven't done and you actually want to do. So try and take it slow if you can. It may not be easy. Things like working out will help you, like, I don't know, walking, running, if you're a runner, or some type of dancing, or even if you find your mind just constant, there's things that's going on, doing like a puzzle will really help you. It will actually help it'll help you help release things, but also help you just to like try to be calm. It's a very busy full moon for you. So the card you have is assimilate life experience. So this is the number 2 card, and the number 2 is the High Priestess. So a lot of you may be going within a lot during this full moon. There may be, I think for a lot of you Aries, that sometimes Aries, when we're very busy, it's because we don't want to feel. We don't want these things that we are actually not wanting to feel or see. And this card is saying that, you know, there's something that's going to be coming up for you to actually deal with. It doesn't feel like heavy, it just feels like something can be very emotional. So, you know, this card is about becoming conscious of what you allow to impact you. So this full moon you could be impacted by a lot of stuff that's going on. So try and tap in to that emotion, the emotional side that you have that you don't like to show the world. And that's one of the reasons why this is great to be taking like deep breaths, doing like a workout. Some of these things you may be doing on your own. A lot of you may not mind. But also when you're having that downtime, or when you're trying to have that downtime, some emotional stuff that comes up is going to make you just relax a bit. And I feel a lot of you may see, I don't have to constantly just keep being busy. I want to deal with this, so I don't have to just forget about it. Okay, so yeah, a very busy, emotional full moon for you Aries. Hello Taurus, this full moon is in your 2nd house, which is actually your house. And this is going to be seeing a lot of you. You may feel like a lot of you Taurus actually may feel at home. Yeah, because it's your next door neighbor. So you may definitely feel at home. I feel a lot of you may be communicating a lot more when it comes to like your finances. Like, you know, sorting out any paperwork, sorting out any like finances in general. For a lot of you may be looking at stocks, bonds and shares. Some of you may be you could be getting a new job, but you could also be, if you've got like a side hustle, you may be working on that now, maybe releasing something to the world about, you know, your business and services. This is a great time to be doing it. The moon also rules your 3rd. So anything that's connected to like the senses, I feel a lot of you may be working on will be good. Maybe putting something different on social media. You know, because, you know, the nodes are in your house, Taurus, and some of you maybe, I think maybe because of the square to Saturn, it's actually making a lot of you maybe feeling that you have less, which I talked about in the Sagittarius new moon. So I feel that this is a great time to be really consolidating your like money. And if you, which I don't doubt, a lot of you Tauruses are very, very creative. And if you are looking to start up your business, you may be doing this now. So social media definitely is your friend. This is great to be doing if you have a website or if you have a blog, you could be working on that now. You could be telling friends, family about it so they can subscribe. But also, funny enough, money could actually be coming in for a lot of you Tauruses, because the moon rule in your third is about it's about contracts as well. It's a business house. So you could be signing, you know, there could be you signing a contract right now. You know, it might have stalled, but now this full moon might be bringing it forward for you to really look at and to sign. So this is actually a great time. Even with Mars retrograde in your second, it's like you going back over old ground, going back over, you know, how you can, you know, how you can like build up your business, or when it comes to like your money, even like what you're eating as well. Some of you may be looking at what you're eating and seeing how it's benefiting you in some shape or form as well, but also in your creativity. So the card that you have is minimize guilt. Okay, and in the tarot, this is the, I was gonna say judgment, but it's actually the Fool card. So there's a brand new beginning that's happening. Taurus, don't be guilty. When it says minimize guilt, some of you may be feeling that that what you're going to be saying to the world, what you're going to be, you know, if you're going to be promoting anything to the world, that you might be doing too much or actually not. You know, if you're going to be doing marketing in this full moon, releasing any type of business to the world in this full moon, more is less. You know, it's best to do more than less. And don't feel guilty if you're constantly asking people to help you, because actually asking for people to help Taurus will actually benefit you more. I feel you find that you don't have to do everything yourself in this full moon. This card is one of the message for this card is take a step towards noble thoughts, feelings, and actions. So again, this card is about actions, not feeling guilty, but also it's about stability and also your confidence. So yeah, once again, don't feel that you're doing too much and people might be getting tired of you, because you're not. I feel that people actually like to see what other stuff you're about, because you know what you do, Taurus, really is the stuff of dreams. And I feel that the world really needs to see, you know, if you're one of those Tauruses that are very, you know, doing that 9 to 5, whether you don't miss a day, but you're just very dependable, people might be seeing you're that side, but there's something else that you're going to be bringing out there, Taurus, and this is definitely the time to do it. And if people ask for help, ask you to want you to help, Taurus, or if you want help, Taurus, don't be afraid to ask for help, because you know, I feel that people will really truly want to invest in helping you. Okay, so minimize guilt. Again, a very busy time for a lot of you Taurus, especially to build your business. Gemini, so this is in your first house, Gemini. This is in your first house. And what a time it's going to be for you. Again, it's going to be a busy one, a busy time, Gemini. You guys are definitely on the roll. I feel because I know some Geminis and they don't look very, like, it's like they're happy, but there's that emotions are very, very much up and down. Some of you may not be feeling whether you're coming or going. And this full moon, I feel, you know, things will definitely come to a head. Not in a bad way. I just feel that things will definitely come to a head. I think that this full moon will show you where your happiness lies, where your career lies, where you are feeling yourself physically, emotionally. There could be lots of changes that happen with this full moon, especially with Mars being there. There can be some confusion, of course, but I feel Gemini, if some of you have been quite snappy with people, try and know that there might be people coming to you now and wanting to have a conversation. And this is not to say that you're going to be, it's not about people picking arguments with you, Gemini. It's just more that sometimes you may not be aware of how you're coming across to people. And this full moon may be the time that people will come to you and, you know, just like a normal conversation, but to make you understand how you're coming across. Because you may be thinking you're coming across very confident. You know what you're doing, you know what you're saying, but it's not coming across that way. You could actually be hurting people. That's what I'm picking up. So yes, a lot of that, but I feel especially on a personal level, there can be definitely conversations in general with your siblings, but also you'll probably there's a lot of looking at moving going on, because Mars being in your first sign, in your first house, is about the physical body. And a lot of you may be seeing, something may not be harmonizing with yourself physically. So there may be a change, or you may be cutting down, or you may be wanting to move away. Maybe telling people at this time, you know what, I'm not happy, this has to change. Or you may just be doing it quite on the down low. But yes, it's a big time for a lot of you Geminis, and I feel any frustrations that you guys have as well, you're going to be letting it out. You're going to be letting it out. You might see this is a very much a fiery time for a lot of you Gemini. So the card that you have is become more objective. This is it's number 4 card, and in the 4 tarot is the Emperor. And yes, the Emperor is an Aries card, which is ruled by Mars. So like what I said, this card is about become more objective. It's showing about becoming a bit more compassionate. So like what I said to you before, Gemini, there may be some people coming to you, or there may be conversations that's being said about how you're communicating with people, how you're treating people, but also most importantly, how you're treating yourself. This is a time of honesty. So I feel if any of that happens, it's about listening and not jumping to conclusions, because what can happen, that can just cause arguments. And when this card's talking about compassionate attitude towards others, but also yourself, again, it's about having that honest conversation and not thinking people are on your case, or, because, this is very much even though it's an Emperor card, this card is showing me a lot of you maybe going your own way, or not getting your own way, but going your own way. There could be you doing something by yourself, or you making like a decision by yourself. You can have been discussions within your mind, because I feel that this full moon is going to be showing you that something needs to give, and this may be the catalyst for it. Not necessarily people, but I just feel you within your mind and yourself and your physical self, something really needs to give. And it might be very much a positive time, because the Emperor card is an independent, it's an entrepreneur card as well. It's a card that doesn't take any crap anyway, but it's about looking at things and situations and seeing what needs to be changed in order for us to grow. And again, I feel a lot of you will be very busy, even though Mars is retrograde, you can still be very busy. A lot of you may be going over old ground when it comes to work, or things to do with like your family, especially in your career. It could be causing a lot of you some headache. This is why it's great to be doing some like working out, walking, breath work. Breathing techniques will really help a lot of you guys. This is just like a little general which you can do, or doing something that helps you just to release any tension that could come up. So yes, a very passionate, powerful full moon for you Gemini. Hello Cancer, and welcome to the full moon in Gemini, which is in your 12th house. Now you're actually ruled by the moon, like I said before, so you're going to be feeling this very big time. It may not feel very different to when Mars being in your 12th house at all. And I've said this before, I think I've said this many times, whenever the moon goes into any sign, it can either hinder you in a great way, or it can make you go into your shell, or it can make you feel a little bit emotionally uneasy. And with Gemini being in your 12th, you're going to be still doing that hibernating. That's still lots of hibernating, lots of, there could be, your mind could be very revved up though. Definitely could be revved up. You could feel like, in a way, whether you're coming or going, your dreams may be very prevalent. There may be stuff that you're thinking about that could actually happen. But the 12th house being a sign of releasing, I feel a lot of you are going to be working with that. When I said about some of you can feel quite unsettled during this full moon is because of the Mercury influence. And you know, this is great to be working on any fears or any deep wounds, anything like that you need to release. And obviously working with this is, you know, spiritual practices would be great to work with. You know, breath work, that's my favorite word again. Meditation, yoga, going for walks. This will be great to be reactivating that or even doing that, because Mars being in the 12th and also with this full moon, you know, your emotions, buried emotions, or even anger can resurface in a way that you don't want it to. You could also feel extra sensitive, even more so this month. And, you know, sensitivity and being defensive can also come out. So anything that needs to be let out in a positive way, I feel this spiritual practice will really help during this time. And yeah, that's one of the main themes I feel for a lot of you Cancers. But I feel also this is also a great time for you to be working on things that, again, you no longer need, or anything that you feel is hindering you emotionally. So the card that you have is, and also, again, Mars rules your fifth, your 10th. So this definitely could be to do with your career. You know, so some of you could be releasing something to do within your career. You know, if you're feeling stressed at the moment, this is a great time to be looking at if this is like the career that you want, or this is the job that you want, or do you want to do something very different. So the card you have is, you have support. So there's a lot of support that you have, Cancers, whether you realize it or not. There may be people around you that they could be watching you, or they could just be supporting you in some way. You could be telling them about your worries or fears, or even if it's in a job situation, you know, you may, if you're actually looking for a job or there's a change in a job, I feel you'll be very supported, very much supported in a way, like it's not going to be hindering you. Like, you know, you're more or less like, it could be like you're safe, or there could be people putting you on a higher pedestal. You know, you could be feeling this right now, Cancers, but also definitely you could be feeling within your emotions. So even when the card says you have support, I feel that you, on a spiritual level, I feel that you guys are very protected more than ever. If you feel, if any of you feel like not in yourself, like emotionally, you may be thinking something's bad and it's not. I feel you guys are very, very protective. But I do feel like spiritual practices will actually help raise your vibrations, because you guys may not feel, you during this full moon, your energy definitely will be low, but also your sleep patterns may change. So doing anything spiritual will not only help you be more calm and balance your emotions, it can also be a form of protection, because the 12th house is a house of the hidden enemies as well. So it could be about people, but it could also be yourself. So know that you have a lot of support coming your way, Cancer, even if you feel like you don't. Leo, this full moon is in your 11th house with Mars there, okay? And Mars rules your 9th house. So a lot of you Leos could be finding this very exciting, expansive time. Like you want to get certain projects out there, or you could be removing yourself from a certain group or an organization, and probably wishing for something like more or less like positive people around you. And some of you Leos could actually get that during this full moon. I feel there can be some parties that you're going to. There could be some parties. Remember, with Mars retrograde, especially in your friendship zone, it could dredge up drama, like hidden drama, things that were not said now is going to be said. It could also, this full moon could also help with healing any drama with friends, if you've had any. especially when Mars went into your 11th house. And I feel that if you are looking for something brand new, because you know you're releasing the old to bring in the new, especially when it comes to your ambitions, or when it comes to like your friends, there could be people that come into your life now who are from far away, or they are showing you like a new skill, or you know, you yourself could be coming out a bit outside your comfort zone and wanting to learn something. It could be like learning like Mandarin, or being around like a new group who are very innovative with their skill set. It could be something to do with technology. It could a lot of you could be bringing out something new, showing to the world. You could definitely be joining a new organization. The one you had before may not be aligning with you very well, so this is a great time to be doing it. But I do think you're going to be learning a lot. The ninth house is about higher learning, so you could be learning a lot more about yourself, a lot more about who you want to surround yourself with, what type of goals that you are working towards, and also what type of people that you want to surround yourself with. Because this is going to be a huge realization coming for you, Leos. So, but it's also an exciting time, and the card you got is ground yourself, because you're going to be very busy, Leo. You're going to be very, very, very busy. And the ground yourself card is I keep calling it the Neptune card, but it's actually the Hangman. So because this is the 11th house, and then also you got you know, Mars rules your 9th, this is not gonna make a lot of you feel quite grounded, even though there are expansions happening. There's a lot of excitement happening, new things beginning, and you're releasing things that's hindering you in some way. There could be some confusion as well, and the ground yourself card is showing you what needs to be, what part of yourself needs to be grounded. Like, I feel it's definitely your mind, because you could be flying here, there, and everywhere, doing too much things at the same time. 11th house is Aquarius house, which is Uranus, which can rev up the nervous system. So don't be surprised, Leos, if a lot of you are busy with doing certain projects on the go, talking, lots of communicating. So yeah, and because this is also the Hangman is about to do with, you know, it's Neptune card. So Neptune is not a balanced card. It's like you're in the future, but you're in the past, but you're also confusion. There's some fog that's going on. So it's about paying attention, definitely, like to the inner being within you, like the spiritual side within you. And with Mars ruling your 9th house, that is spiritual. So I feel that this time, during this full moon, you're being guided to be looking more to the spiritual side of things, to give you like an answer, instead of like asking here, there, and everywhere different people's opinions, because the answer really does rely on you. So, you know, you're being guided to ground yourself this month, because it's a very busy month for a lot of you, but also happy times as well. Hello, Virgo. So, Virgo, this full moon is in your 10th house. Again, because you're mutable, you're going to be feeling this. It's going to feel, again, like you're in, you know, the Mars retrograde in Gemini is being reactivated. And I see a lot of you Virgos just, you know, because this is your 10th house, this is to do with like your career, your social standing, your status, bosses, father figures, you know, how you're seen to the world. And I feel with some of you Virgos, if some of you Virgos are very stubborn, this can see a lot of you. I talk stubborn as in a refusal, not to change, but a refusal to know when things are like past their sell-by date in terms of your career. This will start to fade out. So I feel whether you are, it could be a case of whether you are not willing, but whether you guys will leave, or whether you guys there may be like a conversation of like doing less hours or moving to a different department. You know, I feel if anything like that happens, I feel that you guys will get this realization of, you know what, I feel that my services, because you know you are of service, is no longer required here, so I am going to make that choice to leave, or someone will make that for you. But regardless of what it is, you're going to see that this, you know, during this full moon. And yes, of course, full moon, this is going to make some of you feel very emotional, because you know you may have worked somewhere for a very long time and worked really hard, and you know, especially if someone's taking the piss with you, it's not nice if you're sort of like demoted, or you know, you're moved to another department. You know, obviously that's not nice, but on the same side, if something like that does happen, that's when it's like, you know what, I'm going to do something that I've always wanted to do. On the other hand, because you know the moon, it rules your 11th house. If you guys are looking for a new career, or putting something out there to the world, to show the world, this could definitely be in a group setting. It could be to do with friends. It could be like this energy is going to give you a lot of new goals as well, a new goals to set. So regardless what happens in your career, because I do see, like, I see two sides. I see some Virgos having that side of, you know, the job's changing, or some Virgos just actually wanting to do something very different, leaving and doing something very different. So this is the time to really look at, you know what you're actually good at. And if you want to work for yourself, work in a group, but essentially it's about what you have always wanted to do, but you've put it off because work has come into the way, or you know, your career has been, you know, it's like sort of like derailed things. Huge realization, because you're ruled by Mercury anyway. So you know, your mind is going to be like, okay, I need to really think about this. You know, if I'm not needed here, I'll be needed by doing something myself, or I'll be needed by doing something with like my friends, or like a huge passion project. Because you know, a lot of this is definitely from the heart. So the card that you have is Learn from Karma. It's an 18 card, and the 18 the tarot is the moon card. So your emotions can be very heightened now. I feel a lot of you are going to be feeling very emotional. When it says learn from karma, it could be, you know, anything. If you know the two sides of what the coin is. If there's one thing that, you know, your role has been changed to something you're not really enjoying, whether your role has been demoted or you're just being a change. Sometimes it's something that we've done in the past that happens in the future. Okay, and if it is for you, and if you decided to like really leave, it's because there was something that you were always supposed to do that you haven't done, and now is the time to do it. Okay, so it's a very powerful card that's come for you, Virgo, this month. And I feel that whatever happens in your career, or even when it comes to like bosses, or even if you're a boss or even an employee, whatever happens will definitely, you're going to be seeing some, you could be seeing some gains in the next 6 months. So Virgos, don't let no one take the mick with you. You know, if your services are no longer required, you know, make that move. And if you find that there's something that you've always loved to do, again, make that move. But of course, the choice is definitely entirely up to you. A very powerful month for you, because, you know, you're mutable. It's going to, you know, hit you very hard. Hello, Libra. I was going to call you Gemini. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your Gemini full moon reading, which is in your 9th house with Mars being there. Mars rules your 7th house of relationships. So there definitely could be a meeting of the minds, because you're all about balance anyway. Definitely could be a meeting of the minds when it comes to your truth, higher learning, your beliefs. Your relationships definitely could play a big part, a major theme in this. Some of you may decide that you want to break away from a spiritual group leanings, belief system and search for something a bit deeper. Some of you could get a lot more into spirituality if you weren't really averse to it. This is a great time to be doing that. Or, you know, I feel that certain people that you're surrounding yourself with, or even partnerships, this is going to be showing you, this may or may not be the type of group or people that you want to be around with. And I could definitely see a lot of you going back to college, relearning something, relearning a new language, a course of study, doing something to do with publishing. Some of you could be bringing out a book. It could be a spiritual book. It could be just a book you've been writing for a while on the download that no one knew about, and all of a sudden you're bringing it out there. You know, people will buy your things. People will buy your book, Libra, you know, because you're a very persuasive sign. And with Mars ruling your 7th house of relationships and partnerships, this can see a lot of you getting more involved, definitely more involved to do with your relationship. I can see a lot of partnerships happening here, you know, because you Librans, although you guys are very, you know, there's an independence about you, but there's also a sense that you guys need to be around certain people. So if you want to get anything off the ground now, it's of course it's great to be doing it in a partnership. It could really be also in a relationship as well. Yes, there can be a bit of going over old ground. If there's things that were not said, needs to be said. And this could also be to do with a guru as well, Libra. If there's something you need to say to someone who is teaching you, or you're learning from someone, this is a great time to be doing it. But it does feel very much a positive time. So the card that you have is explore your ancestry, and this card is definitely to do with the past. Okay, when it says explore your ancestry, yes, it can be your family background. If any of you guys who are studying, a lot of you could be learning a lot more about your background ancestry, because the 9th house is Sagittarius house, and it does rule race, it rules religion, it rules philosophy. So some of you guys may want to discover more about your family, especially the learners here, the biggest learners here. And it's a great time to be doing it, learning about your family's background, your own your family's background, even like your partner's background. Okay. Also, I see with this card in the tarot is the 13, which is the 13 card is the death card. So there's gonna be a huge releasing happening. There may have been this full moon for you, Libra, can bring up stuff. It could be from the past, but it could also be things that you want to delve deeper in, because that's what the death card is about. The death card is about you're shedding an old skin, and there's something new that's going to be coming. But also it's a Scorpio card, which is about going deeper. So when it says explore your ancestry death card, this is a death card as well. This is a great time to be going deeper into something that you've just had like a little bit of an interest in. And of course you can learn a lot from, but you'll discover a lot of stuff about yourself. You could also discover a lot about your partner as well. But if you're one of those surface-based Libras that are not very, you're emotional, but you really don't like to go there, you may feel different now. The death card, again, is a Scorpio card, so is of emotions. So there could be some hidden stuff that you didn't know about yourself or even know about your family. And it could shock you, but it can make you just want to go deeper. And if you guys are writers, you could be writing about it and bringing it out to the world, and making other people learn from this too. So this full moon is giving you a lot to think about, but also a lot to learn from, but also a lot that's going to be for the world as well. Hello Scorpio, so welcome to this full moon in Gemini, where this is in your 8th house, which is actually your house. So it's going to feel like a bit of a double whammy for you. You being quiet and emotional, Scorpios, is not going to be new to you. You know, this is the time of joint finances. I was going to say banking, that's more Taurus, but joint finances, hidden fears, hidden realms, debts, loans, and rebirth. A great time to really be paying these off, doing it, you know, working hard to pay any of these things off, but also money that you owe or money that could be owed to you. If there is money that's owed to you, Scorpios, you're going to be making sure you're getting it, okay? Because you are the detective of the zodiac. I don't care what anyone else says, but you are the detective of the zodiac. Nothing can overstep a Scorpion mind, and more so like this because this is a Mercury, you know, full moon. The moon rules your 9th house, which is the Cancer house. So yeah, again, a bit like a bit like Libra, you'll be learning a hell of a lot. Could be learning a hell of a lot more about yourself. If you are one of those Scorpions that sort of dabbled in the occult work, like spiritual work, tarot, astrology, you could be leaning towards more this now, because, you know, when it's a water house, the water house can bring on like spiritual attacks, and some of you may be feeling that in a strange way, maybe feeling that people, and it could be paranoia, but some of you could just be feeling a bit off. So doing like a bit like Cancer as well, doing like spiritual protection work can really help you. Your mind actually could be playing tricks on you. Okay, you may be thinking something is actually not true, because it could definitely be something else. So it's really good to be working deeper on that, especially with the moon ruling your 9th house. This is going to be higher mind, so you could actually not be in your emotions. You can just sort of like go higher than that and see a different side to what actually is going on. But even if someone owes you money, or, you know, there's bills that needs to be paid with this, you can actually just go deeper and think, actually you owe me, and, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, a very much a intense spiritual time for a lot of you Scorpions. Yes, the 8th house is to do with fears. I feel you guys will definitely be working on those, like emotional, definitely like emotional for you. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are being more quiet, more so than usual, because, you know, Mars rules your 6th. So you could be getting, you know, really getting back to basics, getting back to work, sorting out your routines. The 6th house is also to do with like health as well. So that could be playing a part, you know, what you're eating, you're working out. This could really help release any pent up emotions that a lot of you may be having. So the card you have is Break Addiction. So this card in the tarot is the Hierophant card. The Hierophant card is a Taurus card. It is about the hierarchy. It's a Taurus card. It's a stubborn card, but it's also about doing things the way that it should be, but also being stuck in something too. So when it says break addiction, if you're going over old ground and nothing is working, or you're obsessed with anything, it's now time to really try and release in breaking that. And again, because the moon rules your 9th house, it's going to make you see outside of what you are being. If you're feeling addictive to anything, addictive to like an old thought or a theme or someone or something, it's going to be making you see, actually, this is not really serving me very well. This is actually disrupting my routine. So I need to find a way to break this. And it's very much no time like the present. You could be definitely going over, again, you definitely could be going over things, you know, being obsessed with things, obsessed with paperwork, obsessed with your bills. This can bring a big obsession. So again, doing a spiritual practice will help. The 9th house is the Sagittarius house, the house of spirituality, higher spirituality. So even like reading up on spiritual books, reading up about manifestations, reading up about the law of attractions, I feel will help you if you're feeling quite pessimistic, or you're feeling like you're or having negative thoughts, actually, if it comes up, great to be these books or these manifestations, or even writing down what you're grateful for, will really help you now, Scorpio. Okay, so a very powerful time, because it's your house, but also a time of releasing and purging. Hello, Sagittarius. So this full moon in Gemini is in your 7th house. Yes, you're going to be feeling this, of course. You know, you are mutable. We're going to mutable time. And this is to do with your relationships, business or personal. So there could be, during this full moon, a release of a contract, a release of something you want to say in your partnership. It could be business or personal. Or it could be a release of a relationship. You know, some things you may feel that certain things have come to an end, and you know, Mars is involved, and this will make things quite sharp. It can also make it quite abrupt. There could be, you know, because remember, whenever Mars is involved, there could be some little bit of drama, a little bit of arguments, and this could be connected to finances in some way, because you know, we're coming off the new moon, which is in your sign, or we're still in a new moon, which is in your sign. But this could be to do with like joint finances. I say that because when it comes, because the moon rules your 8th house, and whenever joint finances is involved, especially when a fire sign is involved like Mars, a lot of things can really come to a head. Like you may find that there's a bill that's not paid, or there's a debt that's not paid, or there could be fears could actually come up as well. If you're in a long-term relationship, it could be any type of relationship. There could be some fears that, you know, you may not feel you're good enough, or your partner may feel like that. So this is a great time to be doing some purging and cleansing work, i.e. communicating, and doing that, the deep communication work, talking about things that you may feel quite, makes you feel a little bit nervous or a bit uncomfortable. This full moon will bring this out. Also, you can find there's some secrets. Secrets could be coming out as well that you never knew about. It could be to do with like a business partnership, or a contract that you've signed, and there may be something dodgy behind the scenes you didn't know about. And if you or someone else does some digging, could be your partner, you'll find that actually you're not getting, you know, your worth. So a lot of that stuff can come out. So yeah, some of these themes, you know, because you know, all the mutables are going to feel this. It can feel quite, some of you may actually enjoy this, but some of you may actually feel quite sort of like traumatized by the whole things that are being revealed, or fears that you have within yourself. So the card that you have is It's a No, and it's a 16 card, and the 16 in the tarot is the Tower card. So it's showing me that there's things that could crumble, but also things that can be built up. It's like it's revealing that there's some things that are going to be revealed, but it's only because something needs to actually again come out. If you feel this time, Sagittarius, that you know you're not in control of the situation in any shape or form, it's or you're one of those Sagittarius that likes to just go with the flow, run away with the wind, you know, keep yourself busy because you don't want to deal with any emotional stuff. The card Is a No. It's like, no, it's time to stop. It's time to like really sort this out. Not keep yourself busy, not think everything is all right all the time. Because remember, this is the Tower card as well, and it's saying that, you know, if you continue the way you are, then things will come out in the way that you may not expect it or may not like it. So it's just telling you basically as well that, you know, to stop and sort anything out that needs to be sorted out, especially when it comes to like a personal relationship as well. Another thing I think with Sagittarius as well, especially with this card, is that then again, yes, there can be some things that are revealed to you, but also in a strange way, there can be a bit of a different type of commitment. That's, remember, Mars is retrograde. So some of you could be going over old ground in terms of how you want to continue a relationship. So it could be in a, this could see you revealing like your true feelings for something or someone, or a commitment to something, even a bigger commitment, you know. So yeah, that's what this card is also telling me as well. But it is showing, even though when we see the Tower, it's quite, it is showing that things, there are things that will crumble, but there's something brand new that's going to be coming as well, and this could come very, very fast too. So listen out for that, Saggies. Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your full moon in Gemini, where this is in your 6th house. And you know, the moon rules your 7th house, and Mars also rules your 4th house. So a lot of action going on, a lot of things going on for you. So your 6th house is about your daily routine. So that's one of the things that you guys are going to be working on. It could be very busy time, busy month when it comes to like your work, people you're working with, your routines, your daily routines, your health and fitness. With Mars being there, you could have seen a lot of Sagittarius, a lot of Capricorns, should I say, sorry. A lot of Capricorns revising their routines in some way, like going over paperwork. Some of you could be working harder. Not that it's not new to a lot of you, but there could be a lot of things that you're going over, when, especially when it comes to like your work, and there could be like a change in your career or even your job, like who you're working with. Some of you could find yourself very busy at work now, you know, very busy in terms of like, you know, especially if you're working like in an office, there could be more responsibilities put on you, which some of you may not mind. Some of you actually may mind, because you may feel people are taking the piss. So, you know, yeah, this can definitely come out with this full moon. I feel that one of the things that could happen is some of you Capricorns could, you know, I've said this before, I feel some of you are actually really revising like your position at work. Are you seeing if you're happy, if you're getting your money's worth? You know, you're a money sign. So it's like, if I'm doing all this work, am I getting my money's worth? Am I, you know, am I happy? Am I, you know, is this affecting me in any way? The 6th house is the Virgo house, which is the mental house, the mental health house, the house of, yes, it is routines, but it's also about health and wellness. So with this full moon being there, and also with the moon ruling your 7th, it's like looking deeper if your work is affecting your relationships, your personal, especially your personal relationships. If you find you're not spending enough time with your partner because you've got so much work to do, this is something you need to look at. And if you are people who you are working with, because this could also affect who you're working with, people you're working with. Remember, this is about relationships. So I feel that a lot of you will be looking at this, looking at your people that you're working with. Is it conducive to your health? Okay, because some of you are really, I feel some of you Capricorns are really taking, or should, some of you actually are, I feel, definitely are looking at what is affecting like your health, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional. You know, with Mars being retrograde in this house as well, it's giving you that looking back of how can I improve myself in any way. So it's great if you guys are going back to like a daily healthy routine, whether it's to do with what you're eating or how you're working out. This is, I feel this, whenever something goes through the 6th or 12th house, this is great to be doing spiritual work, because it's the 6th house. It's like the mental. So doing yoga, meditation, can really help you, because we are in the We're in holiday season and things tend to get very, very busy in in November and, yes, November and December. And it could it could make a lot of us nervous, even though we may feel excited. So this is great to be doing yoga or even Pilates, stretching work, deep breathing, going for walks. Because, you know, with this release in energy, it's making you look at things properly now, especially before the sun goes into your first house, in your 12th. So this will see a lot of you just, you know, doing certain things behind the scenes, thinking behind the scenes, secret thoughts. A great time to be doing this. And I feel a lot of you are going to be taking it more seriously now because it feels like crunch time. So the card you have is stop breaking agreements. So stop breaking agreements. Stop breaking agreements to yourself. If you decided to be, if you decide to leave a job, it's time to do it. If you decided to get healthier, but you keep putting it off because work is in the way, stop breaking agreements. If you decide to spend more time in your relationships, and even like to do, because Mars rules your 4th, to do with like your home life, because there could be a lot going on in the home that a lot of you may not know about because you're very busy at work. You're trying to meet these deadlines and, you know, but there's work and home that is actually in your relationships calling for your attention. It's time to, you know, really fix it. If there's something needs to be fixed in the home, your family wants to spend more time with you, and, you know, your partner wants to spend more time with you, any relationship that you have, something really personal to you, but you keep putting it off, stop breaking agreements, because you don't want to be later on thinking, oh, I should have. You know, it's a bit like a wake-up call that's coming for your personal, your mental, and your physical. So a very busy time and a lot of things for you to work through now. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn, which is in your full moon in Gemini. Sorry, which is in your 5th house. Very fun, creative house. A lot of you are going to be having a lot of fun. Parties, meeting up with friends. You know, if you've got children as well, this could see a lot of you be doing something fun and creative with them. Or if you're an artist, this is a great time. You know, Mars is in your 5th as well, even though it's retrograde. So you guys could be looking at what it could be like, what type of fun, or it could be like digging out that old creative spark that you've left behind and bringing it out to the world. This could see a lot of you releasing some creative projects, or even deciding that you may want to do some work for yourself. It could be in a group, because, you know, you're ruled by groups. You know, the moon, it rules your 6th house. So this is great to be getting organized now. This is very great to be organized. If you're releasing any like type of project, it's a great time to be doing it, but organization is key. So if you are surrounding yourself with anyone that is very creative, or you're looking for creative types, great time to be advertising, especially on social media, because, you know, you're Aquarius and you are ruled by, yeah, you're ruled by social media to a point. You know, you're technology. But also, on another hand, you know, Mars rules your 3rd house, so it can see a lot of you speaking more, communicating more, especially on social media. If you're looking to gain any inspiration anywhere, inspiration is going to be everywhere for a lot of you Aquarius. I can see a lot of you buzzing, like, you know, when if you're going to like parties, not a party, parties, just making friends with like these weird and wacky types of people. It could be Leo as well. And let's not forget, this is a house of you know, fun. So if any of you are single, you know, you could be the belle of the ball. People could be coming, flirting, even you yourself could be. This is also a time where some of you may decide that you want to, because, you know, Saturn's in your sign, and, you know, it may have felt quite hard for a lot of you, but now, you know, so especially if you've done like the groundwork of Saturn and you've always wanted to do something for yourself, this is an actual time to be doing it. The fifth house also rules, especially in Vedic astrology, the what's the words? It's, you know, you're working for yourself, like independently as well. So yes, a great time for a lot of you creatives. You know, really look at what you're really passionate about, Aquarius. You know, I know a lot of you guys are in the mind, but really look at what you're passionate about. If there's something you used to do back in the day, like when you were younger, you know, this is great to be talking to like your siblings, to ask them questions like, what was I really good at? Because your juices are going to be really flowing. Especially your creative juices are going to be really flowing now. So it's great to be talking to like old friends, or just friends in general, or even, you know, going to like your old neighborhood, or speaking to like your family, because they can actually help you. So the card that you have is release fear. And it's like what I said, because Saturn's in your sign, it can be restricting you guys. But with this full moon, it's like making you, yes, you're still going to be in your head, but it's making you, this card is talking about being fearless in what you want to do, what you want to pursue. The next time this full moon happens, Saturn's not going to be in your sign, it's going to be in your second house, which is about money. It's in Pisces, in your second. So this will free things up a bit for you. But although we have this conjunction for the next 20 years in your sign, you lot can still feel a little bit of, but still. But I feel some of you Aquarians actually may be doing the groundwork, maybe working on things, and this will be the time where you guys will be releasing it. Some of the things that you're going to be releasing to the world, you may not want to show it now. You may be quite scared. You're not really sure how people are going to take it. Release fear. You know, this card is telling you just to be fearless. This is a fifth house. This is your opposite Leo's house. So some of you may take on that Leo, lioness, or the king of the jungle way. This is a time where, you know, not to give what people think. You know, this is about you, Aquarius, and also your happiness. Okay, so release fear. And hello, Pisces. So Pisces, this full moon in Gemini is in your fourth house. So Pisces, there's a lot going on at home, isn't there? There's a lot going on at home, especially with Mars being there, you know, but the moon rules your fifth house. So this could see a lot of you getting very creative when it comes to the home. Could be getting creative with your partner, or, you know, yeah, it could be your partner. It could also be new lovers as well, okay? But because this is about your home life and Mars ruling your second, a great time to be investing in the home now. So whether it's decorating, whether it's moving somewhere, it could be cheaper or more expensive. You know, you could be spending a lot more time or spending a lot more on the home. Okay, and with and some of you may decide that you actually, because it's about releasing, so there could be stuff that comes out that you need to, like, again, fix. Something said duplicate. That could be something as well. But it's do family as well. So there can be stuff that comes up that you may have to deal with. It could be drama. It could be a bit of drama or arguments. This is the time to really try and smooth things out as well. But I do see a lot of you, you know, spending a lot more time at home, spending more on the home. This is holiday season, so having like your creature comfort, spending more time with family. This is a great time. Some of you could be really wishing to spend more time with family, and this is the time, or even working really close to home. This could see a lot of you also having a bit more fun, with your family if you've got children as well. The fourth and fifth house thing is to do with like family and children, so that could be a major theme that comes up too. You know, you're like, emotionally you could be feeling away, but also this is great to be getting very creative, Pisces. You know, the sun's in your 10th house. This is shining a light on your career. So again, there could be some changes that happened, and it could affect the home. So I feel that if you are wanting to spend more time with like family, or you know, if you're investing, like doing any real estate, this is a great time to be doing it. It's not to say it's going to be easy, because this is going to be squaring you, especially the second degrees of Pisces. This will, you know, it's going to affect all Pisces anyway, but still, you know, it can be very, this can be very much an emotional month, emotional full moon, also a bit of a fiery one, because it's about getting on the same page with your family, isn't it? And you know, you may want something and they may want something different. So spending time alone, trying to spend some alone time may definitely help you. You know, and also you're coming off, you know, there's, you know, I feel that, you know, because it's a big year for you, Pisces. You know, you've had the Jupiter Neptune conjunction in your sign. The nodes are also helping you, but also we've had the Mars square Neptune, which happened on the 19th. You know, so it can still also be playing on you as well. You could be thinking something is not actually true, and you know, all of that. You know, there could be troubles and worries with money that comes up, and think you not have enough, but you actually have enough. There could be a lot of that happening. So I do feel with this new moon, trying to spend some like that quiet time just to like ground yourself emotionally will really help. So the card you got is temper your criticism. And it's, yeah, temper your criticism. Like I said, there can be some drama coming up, Pisces, because of what your wants and what your family's wants are. You know, you could be pleasing people and no one's really pleasing you. So you could be like moaning or but when it says temper your criticism, it's, you know, you could be very critical. You know, there could be a bit of a critical side coming out, but it's about seeing the other side. You know, because you know, Pisces is the sign of the martyr, which can overdo things for people, then after gets nothing in return, then complains. So it's about looking at that, okay, Pisces. And yeah, again, I do see there can be some drama that comes up with this. It's because of everyone has their wants and needs, and so do you, so does yourself. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, temper your criticism. There could be a lot of criticisms that comes up, but it could all really blow over as well. It really could all blow over. So yes, so try and pace yourself, Pisces. Try to do everything at once. You know, remember your self-care routines, and yeah, try and relax, because it could be a bit of a crazy one for you. So guys, that was the Gemini full moon for all the signs. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let me know how this Gemini full moon has gone for you. And you know, feel free to also leave comments as well. So yes, thank you very much guys for listening, and I will speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye.